Hey everybody, it's your chef. I am trying to figure out what did I do last time when I went live. I want to make sure that you guys can see me. I'm cooking, cooking, cooking. As you can see, my description says what I'm cooking tonight. Woo! Your chef is doing skillet goulash. Or some of y'all might want to say, oh, she's making hamburger helper. Yeah, this is the homemade kind now. The homemade hamburger helper that tastes so much better than the stuff that you buy in those boxes. Okay? So, what I just put in the skillet, because I'm cooking for real, you hear that? I have onions and peppers. No, I don't have any celery tonight. Onions and peppers going on in here. I am sweating out those juices. Getting those juices to release so we can have that onion flavor. We got the aromatics going on. Make sure you speak to your chef. Make sure you speak to your chef when you come in. So, it smells so good. So what I'm going to do is I like to build the flavors, y'all. You like to build the flavors. So I am putting a little bit of my seasonings on my aromatics. Got to put a little salt on here. And I told myself I'm going to do whatever I can to try not to go back to at least I got my seasonings out. My very first live, I forgot the seasonings, but I got the seasonings today. So I'm sweating these out. Ooh, it smells so good. And it's about to smell even better in a little bit. Where is everybody? I know it's a Saturday night. So y'all out and about, love to hear y'all talk to me. Say hey, say hey. So this is nice and tender. What I'm getting ready to do now is put some fresh garlic in here. And as I said in my other live, I know y'all like the ones in the jar, but the jar does not come close to fresh, y'all. Fresh garlic, it just smells so amazing that I have the fresh garlic in here. Okay? So, now I cut this recipe time in half. And the reason for that is because I have ground turkey. You can use ground beef if you want. Hey, how you doing? Say where you're from. I have ground turkey that I already did days ago. Not too long now, but just a few days ago. And I'm going to put this ground turkey that's already been browned up in with my aromatics, aka onions, bell peppers, and garlic. Warming this up, reheating this. So this dinner won't take that long. So here's the funny I got for you. Now, you know, how many of y'all go to Chipotle? Okay? Well, I went to Chipotle yesterday. And I thought, hey, let me go ahead and try some of this El Pastor. Now, I'm not making any, nobody sponsored me, let's just say that. So I wanted to try that, and I bought a bowl for my mother as well. And as I, because they give you quite a bit of food, y'all. They really do. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to bring some to my mom and everything. And, she was out doing her thing last night with the senior community. So when she got back, it was a little too late to eat. So this afternoon, I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and give that to her. It's time for me. Even though the ground turkey is already seasoned, I'm going to re-season it because whenever your food is in the refrigerator, it loses flavor, y'all. And like I told you, this has been a couple of days. So I'm going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning in there. And I know y'all are like, hey, you already got garlic in there. Why are you putting more garlic in there? Because this is the background, y'all. When you come back with the seasonings, that's the background. The base was when I put the garlic powder in, fresh garlic and onions in there. That's the base, okay? So I've got to put a little salt in here. Not too much. What kind of salt do I use? I like to use either pink Himalayan salt, which I ran out of that, or I like to use the sea salt, kosher salt. I don't use table salt, y'all. Don't use table salt. What kind of seasonings do y'all use Okay? So, and those of you that follow me, y'all know that I love my red pepper flakes. Red pepper flakes, because I want a little heat in this. I want a little heat. Okay? So, anyway, getting back to... Look at that. My thing is going off. Sorry about that. See, that's the thing about cooking live. You never know what you're going to get. My husband might walk through, cousin, because she's staying with us because she had surgery yesterday. You might hear my mom in the background, and my cat might make an appearance. He might meow. So yesterday I bought the chipotle for my mom, and she ate some this afternoon. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm feeling good. So, because my mom, she's 85. I know she's not going to eat all of that, right? But she didn't even eat half. She ate some of it and hurt my feelings when she said, I don't want it anymore. I don't like this. I'm like, what? So, I'm my mother's caregiver, okay? She's my number one personal chef service, okay? She's my number one personal chef client. So, I had to make dinner. Yeah, I'm making dinner, even though I was tired from being with my cousin yesterday. You know, like I said, she had her surgery, so I had to go be there for her. And so what I just did was I just poured some sauce in here. What kind of sauce? Whatever sauce y'all want, right? The tomato-based sauce. I used some spaghetti sauce because that's what I wanted. And I got a little bit of broth in here. What kind of broth? I got chicken broth. It could be beef broth with you. I thought that once I did this thing, okay, y'all just gonna see me for a minute. Oh, let's see if I can do this. Hold on. We just gonna let that ride. Okay, we gonna let that ride. We ain't gonna worry about that. Forgive me. I'm getting better at this though, because I tell you, last week I was this way and then I had to turn myself that way. So, yeah, but at least my phone shouldn't ring because I'm in airplane mode. But this is the beauty of being live, right? Because you get a chance to see me do some stuff and we're going to laugh. So that's what we're going to do, okay? But, I just love it. I just love it. But, so anyway, I lost my track of thought. But I got my seasonings in here. I got chicken broth, and like I said, you can use beef broth if you want. I'm going to put just a couple of splashes of Worcestershire sauce in here, just to give it a little bit more depth, a little bit more flavor. And you can also put some, wine, red wine. I didn't have any red wine. I would have loved to have done that, but I didn't do that. Okay. So what we got going on here is this. I'm just built my sauce base. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put my pasta in. Now, most of those goulashes, they have macaroni. I didn't have any macaroni. And I want to tell you guys this because some of y'all don't, you're coming in probably for the first time. My tagline is a recipe is just a guide created the way you want using your heart and your head. I believe that because I was not going to the store to get some macaroni just because of this recipe. Nope. I said, hey, I got pasta already in there, so I got penne. I'm going to put the penne in here. I'm going to stir this around. Okay. And let that hang out. I'll put my lid on here. And this is the better way. The better way. Now, it's already coming up. It's already coming up to a boil, so I'm going to put the lid on top of here so that the pasta can do its job, finish cooking. Okay? And then while that's doing that, we can chit-chat for a little bit, y'all. Maybe I'm afraid to come out of this thing and go in there to, you know, try to put this on silent because I might lose y'all. I'm not trying to do that. But we're going to let this simmer for about just until the pasta is al dente. Okay, we got to try the pasta, right? We got to try the pasta, make sure that it's the way it's supposed to be. I see, ooh, I got one person making food. You're cooking too? You're cooking for your kids? Great, great. So I mean, it's a Saturday night, and I'm in Atlanta. Where are you from? You said hi. Okay. All right. I think I have one eyeball. I'm not sure. I am so new to this, y'all. I have to apologize to you for that. But hey, baby steps, baby steps. I'm doing a little bit at a time with this live thing. I like going live. This is actually fun. This is actually fun because I like to ham it up. I like to ham it up. So let me tell you a little bit about this dish. There's nothing special about it. Nothing other than I'm taking some ingredients out the pantry, things that you already have. Something out of the freezer. I got frozen spinach. I like to have fresh spinach. Sometimes you just don't have those things. So what you don't have fresh, you can put it frozen. Frozen is cheaper anyway. Let me turn this down some more because it's cooking kind of rapidly. And it's one of those dishes that, hey, people are hungry. Let's get this on the table like yesterday. And it's going to be about 15 minutes. About 15 minutes. Now, I'm not trying to knock those burger dinners, okay? You know, the dinners that are in the box. Because when I was sick, we were sick for the holiday season. Good God almighty, man. I was sick. And my mom, it was me first. And then, I started coughing on Christmas. Coughing, just a dry cough. And I was doing fine. I was like, hey, my husband was like, uh-oh, you're coughing. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Oh my gosh, later that night, I woke up to go to the bathroom and I was just literally, I was achy. So I was like, well, hey, I guess I am sick. The next day I tried to cook for my mother, because as I said, I'm her caregiver. Tried to cook for my mother the next day and life wasn't working. I was dizzy. And hey, I see another hand. Hey, another hand. Say hey to your chef. I say hey. And I told my husband, I said, please fix her something. I was breathy. I was like, please fix her something. I gotta go, lay down. And I slept like a baby. I was so tired and achy. And I had talked to him and told him to go get some stuff for me from the grocery store. Some cough meds, and gave me that. And so 2 days later, he got sick. And then 2 days after he got sick, Mom got sick. So we were all sick in the household. I started feeling well enough after by the time New Year's Eve came, I was much better. Much better. Well enough to make our yearly pizza, because I like to make the pizza. Because how many of y'all get pizza on New Year's Eve if you're not out partying, okay? I like to make the pizza because if you try to get pizza on New Year's Eve, good luck with that, okay? Trying to find a delivery driver, and they have so many orders, it's just like Super Bowl, okay? So I told myself years ago, hey, you're going to start making your pizza because we like that. It's something quick and easy and fun, for New Year's Eve. And I brought this story up because what I have here is cheese, right? So I got shredded mozzarella and shredded cheddar cheese. So the first time that my husband had my pizza, he came in when I was making it, let's put it that way. Came in when I was making it, and he saw that all I had was white cheese. And I was like, yeah, it's pizza. I hadn't seen too many pizzas that had the yellow cheese, okay? So he was like, he wanted the orange cheese, yellow cheese, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, what? So every year when I make pizza, I have to make sure that it has his orange, yellow cheese in it as well. So this is the best of both worlds, okay? So like I said, I got the mozzarella and the cheddar going on right here. So just for eye appeal, oh my gosh, right? But cheddar is good, right? We love cheddar, right? We love cheddar. Now let's get back to the burger and cheese dish. I want to talk about that for a minute. Another reason why I talk about them so much is because I get it. I know it's something quick and easy to make. And, oh yeah, the pasta's starting to absorb that. But, this is a big but. All the sodium. Yeah, all the sodium. You will never, ever put as much sodium as they have in those boxes in your dish. You will never, ever do that. And that's why if I'm going to make it, because my husband, he likes that, he'll get one of those pre-seasoned meals and put that, on the skillet. No judgment, right? This is no judgment zone. But I don't like that because, again, I like to control the salt. I like to control the seasonings. And as I said on my live last week, for those of you who want to take me out from last week, I said that I'm not big on the seasoning blends, okay? Meaning the ones that have the salt in it. Not knocking them, okay? We do have some in the house. But if you're going to do it, make sure you don't come back with salt. Salt and that which already has a lot of salt, y'all, it's just too much salt. That's one of my pet peeves, something that I will be on a soapbox about, to have so much of that seasoning blend and then come back with salt. Yeah, my husband and I, we get into that, and sometimes he'll have a senior moment, I guess you want to call it, or maybe he's just having a throwback moment to when he liked, let me put a little bit more salt in there. Did you realize that you had the I'm not going to name any names of the seasoning salt in there? Did you forget? Did you put that in there? A lot of times you can come back and put some herbs in there, give it a little bit more flavor with the herbs, okay? So, yeah, that's, if you're okay with having a box full of sodium and a lot of stuff that you probably can't even pronounce, it's on you. If you like it, I love it, okay? But the pasta sauce it just looks wonderful right now. This is kind of hot right now. Let's see. But it smells wonderful. Can you see? So what that's doing is soaking up the pasta, soaking that up. And it's just enough liquid in here so it won't be too thick, it won't be too runny. And again, I like to use different pasta sauces. Yeah, I could make it from scratch, y'all, but look, I'm a real person. Chefs like to do shortcuts too, okay? I'm a mother. Kids grown and gone though, but I'm a grandmother. They're not with me, but things you have to do, little shortcuts, stuff you don't have to do that. Save that for the holidays, okay? And where you do everything from scratch, the bechamel, aka Mornay sauce for the macaroni cheese, all right? Save that. Use your energy for the weeknight for, hey, let me go ahead and just put this high quality sauce. Okay, we want something that we read the ingredients. Make sure you read the ingredients of your sauces or whatever. If you're watching sugar, okay, then that's maybe not one sauce that you want to use, especially if you're keto, all right? You want to make sure that you stay away from things that have the high fructose corn syrup. I mean, there's a lot that can be said about that. Who else is here? Busy. Okay, all right. See, please forgive me. I'm still new to the live. This is my second live, so if I don't speak to you, please forgive me. But I'm saying hey to you now. So, yeah, look out for those things. Get in the habit of flipping that box or that container and reading it. 99.9% of the times, those seasonings, the seasoning blends, have salt as the number one ingredient. That's a lot. That's a lot. And if you're that person that's watching your sodium, you might want to think about that. So my go-to seasonings I don't even have a seasoning of my own, okay? But my go-to seasoning is salt and pepper. I like to use freshly ground pepper, salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and I use some Italian seasoning, probably some other herbs as well as, like I said, I like the heat. I like to have my crushed red peppers, because that just makes the thing pop, makes your dish pop. Depends on what it is, of course. You don't want to put it in a cake, okay? But yeah, that's my basics. I'm pretty boring, I guess you want to say. I just like to be in control of the seasoning that go into my food. All right, so I have different oils, I have different vinegars, I have different basic seasonings, and just to make my husband happy, because you gotta be other centered when you're in a relationship. I have some regular seasonings to make things, just make something different. Speaking of the husband, he's come in. Yes, I'm going live. So yeah, so you have the happy medium, and if I'm going to use it, and I did do it for my chicken, I did a chicken shorts in here, and I used a seasoning on the chicken, and the chicken looked so pretty. It was, had that nice color, and it wasn't too salty. Now, I don't know what he did. He probably, knowing him, probably took the chicken, put it aside, put a little salt in it, and put it in the microwave to heat it up. But Mom and I were happy just the way it is. Okay, so I need to check this pasta again. Let me stir this, because I want to make sure that... Oh man, it smells delicious, y'all. A nice little skillet meal, well rounded to have some. Let's look at that. I hope you can see it. See? And don't worry, I'm going to put my... Oh, hush. I'm going to put my... Let this cook a little bit longer. Then I'm going to check the pasta to make sure it's al dente, okay? Then I'm going to put some spinach in here in about a couple of more minutes. The spinach is thawed. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to put the spinach in there to give it, so the spinach can cook through and take on those flavors from the spaghetti, the pasta sauce. Yes, this pasta sauce. All right. Oh yeah, thank you. Looks good. You like that? Great, great. So what are your thoughts on the different seasonings? How do you do yours? Do you like to, what would you do different to this dish? Because as I said, my tagline is, a recipe is just a guide created the way you want, using your heart and your head. Okay? So I give you the basics. Think of a recipe like this. A recipe is just a guide, like I said. Somebody said, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. And they did it, right? But then you get it and you're like, well, I don't have that. No, I don't have this. But I have these, So then you put your hand together, that recipe, plus the items that you had, and then you made it your recipe, okay? So what would you do differently? Yeah, I was thinking about putting green beans in here. I don't think I had green beans. You could put corn in here too if you want, okay? Just to say that you did something. But I'm going to round this out with a salad. I'm not going to... I'll try to remember to take a picture. I don't know if the picture would show up in the comments later. I don't know how that works. Yes, I love this. Y'all can talk about me. I can laugh at myself, y'all. I can laugh at myself. And then my phone just let me know about YouTube, my subscription, and all of this stuff. Do y'all subscribe to YouTube? Or do you just do the free version? I like to, have my stuff paid for. I'm sorry, I'm not bougie or anything. I just like the interruptions. So we can laugh about this. But the next time I'm going to have it right. I'm in airplane mode, so nobody's going to be able to call me. I can't believe this. This is just too funny. But you live and learn, right? You live and learn. So let me test this pasta. Make sure that it's tender. And it is fork tender. but also want to taste that sauce to make sure that it's fine. Oh my gosh, that's delicious. And I'm not just saying that because I made it. Okay, so now I'm going to put my spinach in here. And it's about a cup of spinach. Stir that around. You see that? Gives it some colors. And you can put, like I said, green beans in here. Hey, if this is your recipe, you don't even have to put the vegetables in there. I'm not judging you, okay? You do what you want. Oh, gosh, this is good. This is going to be good. And it's going to be gone tonight, I already know. This is the type of dish that my husband likes. And it's, like I said, it's a quick and easy, kid-friendly dish, y'all. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle this cheese on top. I'm going to get that over. Hands are clean, y'all. My hands are clean. All right. And see, look at that. That's nice, right? So now what I'm going to do is, because I want this to kind of pop just a little bit more, even though it's got that orange and that white going on. I learned this years ago when I was working at a meal assembly establishment. Whenever we would finish the pizzas, we used to make fresh pizza. We'd put just a little bit of Italian seasoning, basil, whatever, seasoning dry on there, so that when it goes into the oven, it came out nice and with the garnish, a really pretty garnish. So what I'm doing now is just letting this sit so that it can, letting it sit so that the cheese will melt. That's it. I'm letting the cheese melt. So while that's melting, because I kind of want to plate this up for y'all. Let me make sure I got a nice plate, nice little bowl. So while that's hanging out, getting melty, I want to talk about my cookbook. Okay? No, this recipe is not in my cookbook. This is my new cookbook that just launched about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks. It's called Creations Nation Cookbook Volume 1, From Our Tables to Yours. And this has 27 recipe contributors in there from my food group. And you have your appetizers all the way to your desserts, y'all. And what I love about this is it says Chef Sonya on there. It says Chef Sonya. But it's not about me. This is a community cookbook. How many of you like Taste of Home? You know, Taste of Home. I'm not endorsing them or anybody. I know how to cook. Been a professional chef since 2010 when I graduated culinary school. But to have all that stuff written down, no, I didn't do that. Okay. But I know people that have recipes, want to get them out there. It's about stories. This has stories, different stories, because when we sit down at the table, we have stories from, mom and them, grandma, aunt. It's always something. It could be something funny or whatever. Just like tonight, you're probably going to be sitting down and you're going to be like, oh, I was watching, and I got inspired by Chef Sonya and I made this dish. Things like that. Those are stories. Okay? This is about connections, collaborations, fun in the kitchen when you're growing up with family and them, and you just enjoy the food, the camaraderie, everybody being together, and so on and so forth. So, again, it's not about me. This is about a community of people coming together with different recipes from Georgia, because I'm in Atlanta, from Georgia to Alaska, and I even have New Mexico in here. Men and women, more women than men, wonderful recipes. I even give some nutrition tips. I even give some tips on what you could do for their particular recipe. Never shaming anybody, because that came from mom and them, or the abuelo, or, abuela, So never want to do that, but I like to give little tips and things like that. And since my name is on the book, I do have some recipes in it. But the book is on Amazon. If anybody's interested, Amazon. If you are that person that likes to have it on Kindle or your phone, it's on there. Creations Nation Cookbook, Volume 1. So since it's Volume 1, that means that I will have a Volume 2, okay? I'm letting this simmer for a little bit first before I get to the Volume 2 part. So now, let's see, this is melted. It's melted enough, okay? We're gonna get to it because I want y'all to see how good and gooey it is, and I'm gonna. Can you see? Look at that! Ooh, it's beautiful. And you made it yourself. You didn't do this from the box. All right. Not throwing shade on anybody if they want to do that, but you saw how easy this was. Now, here's a little tip for you. Let's see. I like to stay ahead of the game. I have my aromatics, which is the onions, peppers, celery, aka the Trinity. I like to have those things chopped up ready for me, okay? I don't buy the stuff in the store because that, first of all, I'm a chef. I know how to do it, all right? Chop it up. If I were to buy it, I would go into the produce aisle and get the one that's already cut up. The one in the freezer is already watered down, y'all. It does not have any flavor, okay? So I have my onions and peppers, which I have over here. You saw me getting from that. Onions and peppers already cut up in the refrigerator, ready to go when I need it, okay? And I have ground turkey seasoned up. I have the plain version, but not really plain, with the salt and pepper or whatever. And then I also have the taco flavored one, which I have a recipe in here, and there's a recipe in my book on how to make taco flavored meat. You can use the ground beef of your choice, y'all. If you wanted to use the vegetarian ground meat, you can do that as well, ground meat, okay? And season it the way you want. Tofu. Yes, I used to be a veg head years ago. I have plenty of recipes in my head on that. But have those things ready for you so that you can make a meal that fast. I think that was, 15 minutes? Probably 20, but it wasn't long at all. So you see how easy that was? All right. So I'm getting ready to get out of here because it's almost 8 o'clock in the ATL. What time is it where you are? What time is it where you are? So I'm Chef Sonya King with King Creation PCS, and I hope that I can remember how to turn off this thing. But thank you so much for coming in and cooking with your chef. I will be back. Who knows? I might come back tomorrow, all right? But if not, I'll be back sometime next week. Thanks so much. Recipe is just a guide created the way you want, using your heart and your head.